I thought we were solid. Married 4 years, planning for kids, working overtime to build a future she kept talking about. Then one evening, she dropped a sentence that shattered everything. What if we tried an open marriage? That moment felt like my heart cracked right through the floor. We were sitting in our kitchen, takeout boxes on the counter, Netflix paused in the background, when she said it so casually, like she was asking to redecorate the living room. No lead up, no warning. Just boom. An open marriage? I repeated, as if saying it out loud would make it make sense. She smiled, nervous. I just feel like we're in a bit of a rut. And maybe experiencing new things could help us reconnect. No. What she really meant was, she already found someone new. I didn't say much that night. Just nodded. Went quiet. She thought I was considering it. In reality, I was breaking inside. Let's rewind a bit. I'm 34. Let's call her Lena, she's 31. We've been together since I was 27. I proposed after 3 years, when I landed a better paying job in construction management. The plan was simple. I'd grind for a few years, save, buy a home, and give her the life she always dreamed of. She loved nice things. I never minded, until I realized she didn't care how those things were paid for. I'd work 60-hour weeks, come home exhausted, and she'd complain we never do anything fun anymore. Every now and then, I'd catch her phone lighting up late at night. Snapchat. Instagram DMs. Always some new guy reacting to her stories. I gave her the benefit of the doubt, but I wasn't stupid. I started seeing patterns. She got more secretive. Passwords changed. Phone always upside down. So when she suggested the open marriage, I knew what it was, a test. She already had someone lined up, she just wanted permission to cheat without guilt. I played along. Maybe, I told her, we could talk about it more. That's when she got excited. Thought she won. She didn't realize I'd already started my own little project, Operation Divorce. Over the next few weeks, I pretended things were normal. Took her on a weekend getaway. Bought her that overpriced necklace she'd been eyeing. I told her I was warming up to the idea. Meanwhile, I installed a keylogger on the home computer. I backed up her text to a hidden cloud account. I bought a small voice recorder and left it hidden in the car she mostly drove, my car, by the way, which she took liberties with while meeting friends. What I found gutted me, even though I'd expected it. Text to a guy named Brian. Pictures. Can't wait to see you again. And voice messages. One where she laughed about how dumb I was, how I'd probably never even notice anything. Another where she told him she'd try to push the open marriage conversation again to get things moving. My hands shook as I listened. But I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I lawyered up. Quietly. Told him everything. He was blunt. Don't say a word. Let her keep digging the hole. So I did. If you're still listening and this story has hit a nerve, make sure to like and subscribe. There are more stories coming, some darker, some healing, but always real. One night, while Lena was out with the girls, I copied everything to a flash drive and dropped it off with my lawyer. I told him I wanted the house, the car, everything I could legally get. She came home drunk, smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. I tucked her in, kissed her forehead, and smiled, because I knew the end was coming, and it wouldn't be on her terms. Fast forward 3 weeks. We were sitting in her parents' living room. She didn't know I'd invited them over. I told her we were going to discuss where this relationship was headed. She agreed, thinking I was finally going to say yes to the open marriage. Her parents arrived. I served coffee. I brought out my laptop, connected it to the TV. Then I hit play. Her texts. Her recordings. Screenshots. Dates. Pictures. Audio clips. It played like a twisted slideshow. Her parents sat in silence. Her dad looked like he was about to vomit. Lena tried to unplug the TV. I stopped her. Calmly. You wanted freedom, I said. Now you're free. She snapped. Screamed that I invaded her privacy, that this was emotional abuse. Her mother started crying. Her dad told her to sit down and shut up. She turned to them and shouted, he was never there for me. He worked all the time. I was lonely. Her dad stood up, red-faced. He was working to give you a house, Lena. A house you're not getting anymore, by the way. Her jaw dropped. My prenup had a fidelity clause. And I had proof. She tried to fight it, until my lawyer sent her a list of everything I had. Dates, screenshots, audio, backup logs. She went silent. We settled quickly. I kept the house, the car, my investments. She got her wardrobe and a small payout. Barely enough for a deposit on an apartment. She moved back in with her parents. That's when she tried to crawl back. Brian? He didn't want her anymore. Turns out, flings don't turn into fairy tales. She moved in with him for a week, but he got bored fast and ghosted her. Blocked her on everything. Then she started calling me. I miss us, she sobbed into the phone. We can go to counseling. I wasn't thinking clearly. I didn't say much. Just listened. Then I told her the truth. I gave you the life you asked for, Lena. You threw it away. Click. Now, I come home to peace. Silence. Sanity. I cook for myself, sleep like a rock, and wake up without that constant knot in my chest. Sometimes I pass by her parents' house and see her car out front. Her mom won't even look at me anymore. Her dad, though? He gave me a nod the last time we crossed paths. A silent kind of respect. Because I didn't yell. I didn't threaten. I didn't cheat or lie. I let her build her fantasy, brick by brick. And then I let it collapse. Final words. Lena thought she could rewrite the rules of our marriage without consequences. She thought I'd roll over. She thought I'd let her dance between men while I footed the bill. But she forgot who I was. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I just waited. And when it was time, I ended things on my terms. That's the thing about betrayal. It doesn't break you, not if you choose to rise from it. It teaches you to move with precision. To act with clarity. To protect your peace. And above all, it teaches you exactly who to never let back in. Thanks for listening. Hit subscribe if you're still here, it helps more than you know.